Young goalkeeper has been the first choice at the start of the year. Harrison was almost drawn goal, but Murray got a left foot on the ball for us. He cleared it away. Saka is being tackled at the moment. Here's McCrory. Couldn't get his pass through to Ryan Williams. Portsmouth slightly out of position now, but only Nketiah really forward. And he's wide on the left-hand side. The ball is played back into midfield to Ceballos. Ceballos chased by Evans, caught by Evans, fouled by Evans. But the Portsmouth fans will appreciate it.
Might need some brilliant supporters there.
Gendouzi's in trouble now.
Listen, I've got some sympathy for him.
Let's just explain that. Arsenal wanted to take a free kick quickly. Mike Dean said they weren't taking it in the right place. They had 2 goes at that, and eventually Gendouzi, in a really exaggerated fashion, picked the ball up, raised it high above his head, and placed it very deliberately on the turf. And Mike Dean said, "We're not having any of that sunshine. For your cheap yellow card." And you have sympathy with Gendouzi, do you?
Well,
with Arsenal.
Pompey had a free kick on the left-hand side earlier,
yeah,
and they took it quickly, and it wasn't from the spot where the free kick was.
Good turn by Nketiah, but he's offside or handball, was it?
So I think if you're going to do it for one team, you've got to do it for the other team.
Yeah.
And he did Portsmouth a massive favour because Arsenal were away. If they'd have spotted it and played quickly, they were away.
Silly booking from Gendouzi and the frustration, but in that position he's got to make the challenges, and now he's on a yellow card. And Mike Dean actually very deliberately as well, so he called David Luiz over the captain and said, "The reason I'm doing this is because I'm not having it." Gendouzi's in the book. Him and Luiz both jumped for a very bushy-haired header. Arsenal have lost it on the edge of their own penalty area. Williams is fouled. Portsmouth have a free kick wide on the right-hand side, and Arsenal just losing their cool ever so slightly at the moment. This is still Arsenal 0. Only Ceballos complains. Lucas Torreira off injured. Ceballos is on for him.
Well, one thing for sure, that ball's going in the box.
Yep. And where's the big fella? The biggest fella is Christian Burgess, who started out as a youth team player at Arsenal. He's on Gendouzi at the moment at the far post. Harness is lurking on the edge of the area. And there's a line of 6 yellow Arsenal shirts about 13 yards from their goal line. Free kick will be an in-swinger from the right. Portsmouth 0, Arsenal 0. Here it comes. Filled in to that near post. Travelled a long way. Might drop to Evans. Right-footed volley is sliced and well wide. Behind for an Arsenal goal kick. Kenny jacket, so you'd be very happy with the first goal.
Right, it's been fantastic. They've worked their shots off. They showed good energy. They've kept the ball really well. They've played positive through the pitch. They've done really, really well. Having said that,
Raise them.
when Arsenal do control the game,
Raise them, that save.
you can see that given any chances, they've got the ability to cause Pompey problems.
Ball is played wide to the left-hand side. Intercepted by Ryan Williams out.
We're not for you to push around with this.
On the left, Portsmouth FA Cup winners 2008. They reached the final in 2010 and lost it to Chelsea. Relegated from the Premier League that season and haven't been in the 5th round since they were runners-up back in 2010. Here they are now, and they're trying to get into the quarter-finals. They're attacking again with Seton on the left. Low cross comes in. Gendouzi in a good position. Slips slightly. Got to the ball just in time. Plays it out of the Arsenal penalty area to Willock. Willock's ball back to David Luiz. Not under any particular pressure inside his box. Gives it to Ceballos. Nice first touch from Ceballos. Works the ball onto his right foot. Has a lot of space to run into here. Up to the halfway line, still going. Then close comes towards him. Ceballos to Gendouzi. Wide to Nelson. Outside of his right foot. Looking for the 1-2 with Nketiah.
Come on, Bolster.
Great play up. Here's Harness. Flying in. Winning.
Challenge.
Yeah,
He's going to be a bit quicker than that.
Willock was caught, advantage played, and Nketiah on the turn. Ceballos is in space. Ceballos on the edge of the penalty area, onto the right foot. Hits the shot, that's blocked on the edge of the box, and the ball goes spinning away, and out for an Arsenal throw. So there's the yellow card coming through.
Yeah, he's going to get booked.
Yellow card for the challenge on Joe Willock. The advantage was played, and it's McGeehan, Cameron McGeehan, who goes into the book for Portsmouth. Throw in for Arsenal on the right. 6 minutes left in the first half. There's not too many fans. I count 5 in this stand, making their way out early for that half-time cup of tea. The rest of them don't want to take their eyes off it at the moment. And Ketia, now with the corner flag on the right, turns, plays the ball to no one in particular, clear, intercepted by Louise. David Louise, good dribbling forward, stumbles, keeps going though. Plays it to Ketia, top wide. Big cheers from the Portsmouth fans.
That was well played, and again, you know, the lad really should be hitting the target from there. But the one thing is, without a question of a doubt, when the ball goes forward, Harrison has to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And that's the third time now when it's gone up to him and it's broken down off him. He's got to keep that ball. He gives the team then that little bit of respite, and he gives the team the opportunity to get into their positions to attack Arsenal.
Goal kick for Portsmouth. Ryan Williams, the Australian, who, as Tony's been saying, when Portsmouth are defending, is dropping back into this right wing-back position, then goes further forward when they have the ball. It's just been doing up his shoelaces. He's ready to go. Flick on by Harrison. Louise heads it back to his keeper. It's just enough on it to reach Martin, who immediately bolted out. Saka looking for the pace of Martinelli down the left. Bolton is ready. Comes steaming across.
That is bad.
Martinelli put a brakes on there a little bit.
Well, it was there, wasn't he? When
where the challenge was.
By Bolton in a very similar situation. I think you're right, Tony. I think he was a bit fearful of getting flattened. He's got real pace, Martinelli, though, down that left-hand side. Throwing for Arsenal. 2 enormous bars of chocolate here, Tony, to try and get through at half-time, which I know is one of your stipulations.
Well, Deno usually does it.
Does he?
Ah,
well, all of it. What normally?
Oh, we get a little bit.
Yeah. Here's Mari. Towards Ketia. Ketia back to Mari again. Arsenal working the ball to the right. Here's Socrates. Nelson. Followed by the left back for Portsmouth 7. Ball is played back in field for Gendouzi.
There's his face. That's the spare player again.
That was Martinelli who got to it.
They drop into the left-hand side. They overload Portsmouth that side. Portsmouth have got to be careful that side. McGeehan clears with his right foot, almost one-on-one between Harrison and Mari. And Mari read it well, bouncing ball, nodded out for a Portsmouth throw on the right. We are 3.5 minutes away from half-time, and it's been a very even 5th round tie so far. Portsmouth 0, Arsenal 0. Extra time and penalties if needs be. Mari steps in, offside against Harrison, free kick for Arsenal. Inside their own half. Portsmouth fans. That wasn't in the right place.
Was it? It wasn't. And Mike Dean decided to let that one go. I think Gendouzi very wisely kept his trap shut. Here he is, number 29 for Arsenal, bouncing forward.
There's that 3 against 2 again down that side.
Martinelli was the extra man that time. Played it back to Ceballos, back to Gendouzi. Martinelli's free again if you can find him. He can't. Goes to the right.
I just get mad. This is very mad. Because there's the space.
There it is on the left.
My goodness, if you can't see that space.
Yeah. Ceballos is that man. Plays it to Saka. Saka's in a one-on-one with Williams here. He's just taking him towards his own penalty area. Ceballos curling pass, bounces once. Socrates decides to head it forward, and Burgess slices the clearance with his left foot. Out of play. Another goal at the Riverside. Alex Yeoman. Equaliser for Borough. Free kick back across to the far post. Rudy Gested. That's what he does well. Headed in. His 2nd goal of the season. Borough level. Thank you, Alistair. Throwing Socrates. Portsmouth 0, Arsenal 0. Tony was mentioning the name of Rudy Gested to me in the car on the way to the game today. And he scored, Tony. But he...
Yeah, he's had dreadful problems of injuries, the boy. Nice kid. I'm obviously pleased he scored. Pleased for Woody as well. Hopefully they can get something out of that game.
Need it. Middlesbrough starting tonight in the bottom 3 in the Championship. David Luiz on the ball for Arsenal. He's walking forward at the moment. He starts to make a run. He's gone wide left with the diagonal. Saka will chase it. It's beyond him though. He goes behind for the goal kick. And David Luiz turns away in frustration. Mikel Arteta looks at the ground in frustration. I think it speaks well, Tony, the defensive job that Portsmouth have done, that Luiz feels he has to try that.
Yeah, I think if you're Arteta, you'll talk about that overload on that left-hand side. And because Williams is just marking the fullback and staying out wide and making a flat 5. when Coffey haven't got the ball, that pocket on that side is enormous, and it can be exploited.
Williams with a flick on Harrison will chase Martinez to the edge of his area. Just wondered for a second whether he wasn't going to get there in time. He read it well. Slings the ball over the head of Ellis Harrison, the Portsmouth centre forward, to Mari. Mari back to Martinez. Into the last minute of the first half. There will be a bit of injury time at the end of this half because of that unfortunate injury to Lucas Torreira, who was taken off on a stretcher early in this first half. So I think probably 3 minutes maybe at the end of the first half. Kenny Jackett, Portsmouth boss, third season in charge, arms crossed in his padded black coat. Stares on as David Luiz crosses the halfway line, strokes the ball forward with his left foot. Nelson gets away from Harness, tries to go beyond 7, dummies across, then delivers the ball deep to the edge of the area. No one there for Arsenal. Cleared away by Williams on the left foot. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Starts now. David Luiz, again the ball didn't stick for Portsmouth there.
Harrison's got to do better than that.
Can't hold on to it up front for Portsmouth. David Luiz into the feet of Willock. Again, nice, clever first touch, took him away from McGeehan. Almost lost it. Here's the spare man in that pocket of space on the left. Ceballos, pass close, caught on the edge of the box. Free kick for Arsenal. It's a clever little bit of skill. Definitely fouled. In a bit of pain, it seems.
He wanted yellow. Yeah, he wanted both.
And actually, Ceballos is okay. I think when he realised the yellow wasn't going to get given, the injury seemed to magically disappear.
It's a dangerous position now.
Yes. Could be the David Luiz.
Yeah, I was just going to say, David Luiz is on the ball. He looks as though he fancies this.
David Luiz is there. Just trying to see who else is over there for Arsenal. Reece Nelson, I think, and Ketia in the middle. Joe Willock waiting in the middle as well. Pretty sure it's going to be a strike on goal. So it could be Nelson, could be David Luiz. Luiz normally likes him a little bit further out than these, so he can give it the full hammer.
Yeah, he's bringing the two lads on the edge of the box, so they're headed to the wall so the keeper can't see it.
Arsenal have got their own wall in front of the Portsmouth wall. So will it be Luiz, will it be Nelson? David Luiz, up to the goal, into the wall, bounces loose in the box, cleared away by McCrory, only as far as Nelson. His cross is blocked. Evans with a complete miscue. Harness can't control it. Scruffy as football you'll see. And eventually Danny Ceballos gets the ball back to practice inside his own half. Keeping added time at the end of the first half from Fratton Park. And another goal at the Riverside. Here's Alistair Yeomans.
What goal for Alpha Borough? They're 2-1 ahead. Brilliant finish by Lewis when first time as the ball came into the area. Brief Stamper in the Forest goal could only parry it, and it crawled over the line. Middlesbrough 2, Forest 1.
Thank you, Alistair. Big turnaround there at the Riverside. Here's Gendouzi for Arsenal. Arsenal changed yellow shirts this evening. Willock's given the ball away. Burgess centre back for Portsmouth towards Harness to Arsenal. Would have been a free kick, which would have been a short corner. It's actually just a corner. Doesn't really make much difference.
Oh, the linesman can't see that from their mind, Alan. It's very, very difficult to understand.
Yeah. Quite a few thousand Arsenal fans behind the goal who saw it, Tony.
Yeah, of course, they've really got to be tight now. They don't want to be conceding just before half time. They've done so well this half. This is where you really, really have got to be on your tippies and make sure that you do your work.
2 minutes left in added time at the end of the first half. Nelson's ball in, Luiz was up well. Beaten in the air though. Bounces out to Ceballos, 40 yards from goal. Wide to Nelson, a lot of space for him. Really pacey. Oh, what a finish! The crack is with his right foot on the volley from 10 yards out. Met it sweetly, and he's rammed it into the bottom corner. Arsenal take the lead just before half time. Portsmouth did Arsenal 1.
Three getting on the edge of the box from it's defended well, it's got back out. It's a great ball in, a fabulous finish. I feel a little bit sick actually for Pompey because they don't deserve it really. They've worked so hard. They've had the best chances of this half. There's a sickness just before half time.
Incredible finish from
great finish.
And not to be unkind to him, Tony, he met it beautifully, and that's exactly what he meant to do. How many times out of 10 would he meet it like that and bury it in the bottom corner?
Me? None.
Not you, him.
Well, technically these players are top draw.
Great finish, tough on Portsmouth. We've had a lot of this game in the first time. The thing I love around us, and listen to it now as well. As soon as Portsmouth conceded, fans on their feet and getting behind their team and trying to get them straight back in the game. A couple of flares have been let off away to the right-hand side of the Arsenal end. Just some red smoke drifting away on the breeze. Portsmouth 0, Arsenal 1. Here's the goal scorer, Socrates, who's going to take his time over the throw-in. That is his third goal of the season for Arsenal, having scored against Crystal Palace and Manchester United in the Premier League this season. That was a very sweet finish with his right foot. Throwing down the right to Nketiah. Muscled out of it. Here's Seddon. Seddon's ball over the top. Harrison is onside, and Martinez, with a diving header away, right on the edge of the box, didn't want to take the risk of grabbing that, just in case he toppled out of the area.
I thought he could have waited for it, really, Alistair.
Throw-in taken by Portsmouth. Close, puts it into Harrison. Good football. Work wide. Harness on the left, onto his right foot, cross comes in, David Luiz with the header away, McCrory's underneath it, caught, he was caught, yes, free kick for Portsmouth, or half time, whistle goes, no free kick for Portsmouth, and they have conceded right at the end of the first half. They actually dealt with the initial corner really well, they couldn't do anything about the finish from Socrates, and Socrates is grabbing his teammates together at the moment, and wants a conversation with a lot of them on the pitch at half-time. And you know what he's going back to? He's going back, I can't believe it, he's going back to that throw-in in the second minute of the game. How pedantic is that? He scored the first goal right at the end of the first half, and he's got Reece Nelson and Willett there, and he's telling them, this is what you were doing wrong on the throw-in.
Yeah, I can't even remember it.
Harsh on Portsmouth.
Well, I still think that Pompey in the game.
Yeah.
The worry now is that they'll drop off push on and Arsenal will drop off a little bit and just counter them and score goals on the counter-attack. But it's really disappointing for Pompey to concede so late. I don't think they deserve to be a goal down at half-time.
Fans' reaction, though, Mark, to that was just superb. Straight on their feet, back in their team. They're still right in this cup tie. Half-time, Portsmouth, they'll Arsenal 1.
I can't believe he does the selection of Socrates, Alistair. That's what he was put in for. Because he can finish like that.
That's a great finish, isn't it?
It's about keeping the ball when it's not forward for Portsmouth, isn't it, Tony? Because the last 10 minutes in particular is coming back too quickly.
Well, when Arsenal have got good possession and they push you back, the one pass that you've got is into that centre forward, and if he controls it and keeps it, it gives you time to break on them and actually then get your bodies up the pitch. And unfortunately, it's broke down too much in the last 10 minutes of that half. But fingers crossed, they'll come out and have a good 20 minutes, keep the game alive, and that's the important thing.
Former Portsmouth midfielder Gary O'Neill in the studio with me. Most of Portsmouth's threat came down their left, Arsenal's right.
Yeah, it was interesting actually because Socrates scored the goal, but he had a tough time against Harness, and I think that'll be an area that Portsmouth maybe look to exploit. I think if he can go down the outside on his left foot a little bit more often, you said it while the game was going on, Chappers, he kept coming in the box, but it looks like he's got a beating of Socrates on foot. He's quicker than him, and he can cause him some problems. I think Portsmouth will be pleased, apart from, as Tony said, apart from the last-minute goal.
It's not like they've been under siege.
No, Arsenal have had one half-decent chance when Nketiah and David Luiz had a little bit of magic and put them through. Apart from that, Portsmouth have actually had the better chances. So they'll be disappointed with the goal, but they'll be pleased with how it's gone in that first half.
James Crow sent us a tweet saying, does Tony Pulis have one of those rock star style contracts where they have to have champagne, etc. in their dressing room at a gig? It's a rider, James, yeah. And in Tony's case, it's 2 bars of chocolate. That's exactly what it is. Tony has a rider whenever he's with us, 2 bars of chocolate. We'll let him...
Never forget your roots.
Exactly. We'll let you and Alistair eat those bars of chocolate. We'll be back for the second half. We'll talk about the goings on in the Bundesliga over the weekend with these banners that have been against the Hoffenheim owner, but also in support of other fans who have shown banners against the Hoffenheim owner. We'll go there. We'll talk to Rafa Honigstein shortly. Middlesbrough properly turned it round in the Championship, though. Alistair,
They had 2-1 at half-time to Middlesbrough over Nottingham Forest. The first 28 minutes, to be honest, was grim. Then the game burst into life. Forest scored first. Alpha Semedo to Stanley Amiobi. Neat pass to Ryan Yates, who angled a shot in from the edge of the penalty area. Fine finish into the corner of the net. Borough level. 5 minutes before the break. Paddy McNair, free kick on the right, headed back across goal by Harold McCooley, and Rudy just said, in at the far post, nodded home. Got even better for them, and Jonathan Woodgate. Brilliant run by Hayden Coulson just before half time. Outstanding he's been in the first half. Ball into Lewis Wing, first time shot. Bruce Stamper in the Forest goal. What a hand to it, but agonising with him. The ball just about rolls over the line. Middlesbrough will come out of the bottom three if they hang on. They lead 2-1 at half time.
Gary O'Neill, Middlesbrough, one of your former clubs, but the second Middlesbrough goal was a sensational counter.
Oh, it was brilliant, starting from the goalkeeper with a fantastic throw, and then not sure who collected it on the right wing, but he showed some great pace and drive and positivity, which is sometimes difficult when you're down the bottom of the table. And he really drove into Forest, released the pass at just the right time, and was the perfect weight on it so Wing could hit it first time. If he'd have overhit it, Wing would have had to have a touch, and the attack would have been stuffed out. But it was a fantastic work.
So Portsmouth a goal down at home to Arsenal in the Cup. Middlesbrough 2-1 up on Nottingham Forest in the Championship. The second half of both games to come, but first Victoria Meakin has been used. 20-0.
On digital, BBC Sound, smart speaker and online. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. The Prime Minister has asked the Cabinet Office to establish the facts following allegations that Home Secretary Priti Patel has breached the ministerial code. The Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove confirms the bullying claims were being looked into, but was certain they were unfounded. The Home Secretary absolutely rejects these allegations. The Prime Minister has expressed his full confidence in her, and having worked closely with the Home Secretary over a number of years, I have the highest regard for her. She is a superb minister doing a great job.
Meanwhile, the BBC seen details of another complaint of bullying made against the Home Secretary when she was Employment Minister in 2015. The Prime Minister says a very significant expansion of coronavirus in the UK is, in his words, clearly on the cards. 39 people have now tested positive in the UK, and the government will announce an action plan tomorrow to protect vulnerable people. Boris Johnson acknowledged the challenge ahead.
I do not wish in any way to minimize the significance and the importance of the challenge that this country will face, I think, almost inevitably in the course of the next few weeks. But what I do wish to reassure the public about, number one, that we've taken every possible precaution of preparation, and secondly, I have absolutely no doubt that this country will not be defeated by a coronavirus.
An inquest has found a series of failures by the Home Office and other agencies contributed to the death of a vulnerable Ghanaian man in an immigration removal centre. Prince Fosu, who was 31, died in his cell just 6 days after he arrived at the centre in Harmondsworth in 2012. And the rider of an electric bike has been cleared of killing a pedestrian by careless driving. 32-year-old Thomas Hanlon was travelling at more than 30 miles an hour when he knocked down a woman in East London in the summer of 2018.
What else we got ourselves in today?
On BBC Two,
Excitement, adventure, trauma.
let's do this! Come on! 10 unlikely travellers raced across 16 countries.
We've done over 22 hours on a bus, and then we're back on another bus.
Probably should have gone to the toilet before starting on the adventure of a lifetime.
Can you see the volcanoes over there?
Wow. The race is really on now. Open my eyes.
Brand news race across the world.
How are these plans on now for 3 days?
Sunday night at 8 on BBC Two and iPlayer. This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
So it's Portsmouth 0, Arsenal 1 at half-time in the Cup, and it is Middlesbrough 2, Nottingham Forest 1. In the Championship, let's talk about what we've seen in the Bundesliga this weekend. 2 matches being stopped and players taken off the field as fans displayed offensive banners towards the Hoffenheim owner, Dietmar Hopp. The first was during Hoffenheim's 6-0 defeat to Bayern on Saturday. Then the second happened at Union Berlin's 2-2 draw with Wolfsburg on Sunday. German football is the Rafa Honigstein on the line now. There are several layers to this, aren't there, Rafa?
A load of different layers.
Yes.
Which one do you want to start?
Well, that's a very good question, actually. Start, I suppose, with the figure of Hopp and why the abuse is aimed at him, but then why the banners over the weekend had sort of more messages in them than just targeting Hopp. Would that be the right way to do it?
I think so.
Okay.
So ihope is a billionaire who made his money with a software company, SAP in Germany. He decided about 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, to invest heavily into his local village club, TSG Hoffenheim, where he himself played as a youngster. And little by little, with lots of investment, it got them all the way to Bundesliga and even to the Champions League. This is something that sort of violates the spirit of the ideals of a lot of what German football and Bundesliga stands for, which is this organic growth without investment. And it basically kind of circumvents the rules when it comes to giving any single individual, any single investor the real power in the club. Usually, clubs have to have control by the members in order for them not to be sold or bought.
Thank you for watching.
They organize themselves along democratic principles. So this has been a protest, and the Bundesliga has been going back well over a decade now. The reason why these things have now reappeared and become such